Unlock left. Right, those always need turning on. Lights need turning on. Crossing light needs to go on. Gauge lights need to go on. Reverser in and forward. Cut in the brakes and pull them back to holding. Control minus. Set the number light board and marker light board on. That's all we should need to do in there. Reset the sound. Right, I think we're ready to go. No, bullet services are the express ones. So out of 22 stations, they stop at about, I don't know, 5. So we're going to Mountain View, Palo Alto, Redwood City, Hilldale, Millbrae, 22nd Street and San Fran. So 1851 will be there. So we're going to be just a little over an hour. I've done it a couple of times, Engineer Kenny. In the cab car, of course, you can hear the what's going on in the passenger with the announcements to the passengers, which is quite cool. Or the door close alarm, anyway. Hello, mate. Hi Elton, how's it going? We haven't done the announcement stuff yet, MT Rails. This is just literally, instead of going beep 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 as it closes, it places that other thing, so it's a fairly straightforward replacement. Speed limit is now 40. Next station's 10 miles away. Train sim guys, 79 miles an hour is indeed the speed limit, because at 80 miles an hour you need cab signalling PTC, which the train doesn't have. Right, nothing on this network does yet. It's getting it, but it doesn't have it yet. Hey, welcome back, little Patrick. Oh, we'll get the bump, 79 miles an hour any minute now. Little Patrick, there are a number of steps you have to take. You want to turn those 3 switches on, the fuel pump and control. You want the generator field and the engine run switched on. You need to cut the brakes in using the cut-off valve, switch it to the in-place or freight, depending on what you're driving. Release the brakes, you should be able to apply power. Caltrain coaches are 5 coach or 6 coach, Elton. Sorry, Caltrain trains. They're 5 or 6. I love the wind whistling noise. Brilliant. What's cool is when you get up to this kind of speed, it's not quiet anymore. .1 for Mountain View. I think any routes like NEC will be expanded, or is it too demanding for the game engine? To be honest, whether they get expanded or not is more of an issue of, do we go back and make an existing hole bigger essentially, or keep adding more variety and different types of trains and so forth? You know, would you go and make NEC bigger, or do a US freight route, for example? You know, I think people probably like more variety at this point, but then once the variety is there, then go back and start maybe looking at either doing something similar to what's there or expanding what's there. Neil Patrick, what are you doing? What are you doing? Is it a service? Which loco? Aren't the community screaming for longer routes? They might be screaming for longer routes, but they haven't got the budget to pay for them. The routes will naturally get longer. I mean, this is 50 miles. This is the longest route on the console. Second longest route on the PC. No, most people wouldn't want to pay £50 for a route log. Hey there, P-Basque. So what's included in 2020? It's Long Island, Main Specibahn, Northern Transpennine, Great Western Express. On PC you also get Sandpatch Grade, and in Digital Deluxe you also get Peninsula Corridor. I mean, for new players, that's an incredible deal. It's $24.99 and you get 5 routes. Yeah, well, if you do, so if it ends up being like a Sherman Hill or a Marias Pass or something, then that's where longer routes become a bit easier. This one actually worked with the current system because being an American route, it's much more blocky rather than individual. Every individual house looking slightly different. In America, one of the benefits is that the scenery is fairly repetitive anyway. But you couldn't apply that same model to a German route or a UK route. .3 miles, due in at 17:59. Clawzord, I'm sure the MP36 will come out at some point. I'd love to get that one in. Biggie, thank you for the follow, much appreciated. Elton, if you want one of these hats, then make sure you're on all the normal Dovetail social media, because at some point they're going to start running competitions to win them. Train Sim Deluxe won't give you every DLC, Biggie. It'll give you quite a few though. You get 6 routes in the Deluxe pack. No, I never do, Clawzord. Yes, Deluxe includes the San Francisco line, yeah. How do you guys decide what routes to put in the Deluxe Edition? It's the 3 latest routes at the time, with the exception of Tees Valley, which were also considered to be sort of 3 of the best routes in the game at that point. Good night, Pubask. Got a minute's wait now. Dum de dum de dum. What do we get? 500 for the load, 493 for the stop. Oh, we got 500 for that one. Excellent. Palo Alto, 6 miles. Horn on the cab car. Back up to 79 in readiness. Mind you, we've got this signal we're going on. See you later, bad guy. Glad you're enjoying. I have heard someone who used shadow gaming, Inspector Tiger, and got on very well with it. In fact, I've had 2 or 3 people that used it. Flashing yellow, red, red. Flashing yellow, red, red. Advance approach. Trains exceeding limited speed must drop to limited speed. That'd be me down to limited speed then. No, there's no GP40 content on the Caltrain map course, or because the only GP40 is the CSX one, which wouldn't be appropriate for here. There you go, 14L hype. It is an epic horn, it has to be said. Single flashing yellow. Top one, mate. Yeah, that's advance approach. Prepared to stop at second signal. So being brought to a red at this point. I must admit I've been tempted to treat myself to a 1X at some point, Tiger, because my daughter's nicked my one. I got my PlayStation, but I've got the Xbox One game, the Xbox Game Pass Ultimate thing. And sort of like well, actually, quite fancy having an Xbox to run it on. And obviously I play the games on the PC, but I quite like playing on the console. Good night, EC. Solid yellow, which is approach. We need to stop before the next signal. I think next gen was always going to do that to the previous gen. Train sim guy, that's just a fact of how technology works. We are following something up here. Are we coming up to a passing point? Yeah, we're following something. I think we're stopping here. Yeah, there's Lawrence by the looks of it. So hopefully we can get past the train at Lawrence. Oh, you just picked up Evie. Awesome. I think if you're used to playing on the controller, then that's how it is. Sergeant Soul, will there be a PDF timetable? At the moment, there isn't a plan to do that. We're trying to find a better way of doing them because they're just an absolute pain in the workload at the moment. Oh, I thought one was done from Northern Transpennine, Sergeant Salt. So he's pulling into, just leaving that station. Then he'll be hopefully pulling over to the right here. And at some point down here, then we'll try and get ahead of him. Don't know. Don't know. We'll have to see. Redwood City. Yes, indeed, Stephen. Yeah, it's dynamic, and so trains will get the permission. If there's nothing else ahead of them, the trains get permission. So you can try and sneak slots away if there's an opportunity there, and you can buffer up behind it essentially. As long as that train takes the right track, I might be able to take the middle track. It depends how the routing is between these services. But the 300s always take the middle tracks, or those 4-track areas. And all the other ones, I think, take the right-hand track. So it's service, definitely, maybe. How do you get the speedometer without the next station appearing in the top left? Oh, you mean like Control 1, toggling the blue thing? Is that what you mean? Oh no, he's not taking the middle. That's just awkward. Oh, he is taking the middle. Yeah, unfortunately, there just aren't enough controls on a controller. It's intended to be from Northern Transpennine, one of the viaducts on there, I think. See, Oliver. But that's a creative piece of key art, not a screenshot, so that it could well be made up bits and pieces. Emergency brake's already gone, Tiger. You need the up and the down arrows on the 101 for your gear changing. Cosmonaut, I'm following, so the signals are holding me to about 50 at the moment. I'm being held to a limited speed with the signals. You'll notice they're all yellow flashing. No, there's no cloud saves, KW1, unfortunately. What I'd suggest is you back up your saves folder onto a OneDrive or something periodically. Home into Redwood City is red, so our train that we're following is blocking us. We will find an opportunity to get past him, one way or the other. Cheddar Sharp, Peninsula Corridor was released for TS1 quite a long time ago. It's only just been released today on TSW. How are we doing? This train is holding me up. It's getting annoying. I'm just going to get held up from now on, I think. Lock the doors.
The doors are about to close.
Hillsdale is next. Solid yellow, which is an approach. Yeah, absolutely. If there's a pacer, that'd be it. We'll be done. Just do nothing but pacer. Advanced approach, I can speed up a bit. The Pacer is a novel train. has an interesting history. There are many divided opinions. When I say divided, most people think it's rubbish, and I think they're great. You know, that's a nation divided, if nothing else. They work, yes. They work very well. They've been around a lot longer than was anticipated, and their presence actually saved a number of lines because it enabled them to run profitably. Two and a half miles to go, nursing our way up the line. When did work begin on this route? It was started before Tees was finished, if I remember rightly. Oh, hello, green signal. What is this all about? What's this other train done? Oh, it's got beams going now. That's a bit crooked. It's always a bit crooked, Willie. Head's a bit crooked, to be honest. That's Bart. Right, that's like that.
The doors are about to close.
Right, let's get to moving. Has that one in front of me started moving from its station yet? Yes, it has. Good. It's all Dovetail, Mr. Failures. Yeah, it's they're both the same. Well, same company. See you later, Chris Child. Still, which one is better? So, Train Simulator, the older one, I say older, it's still updated, but the older one's got a lot more content. Graphics aren't as good, functionality isn't as good, it's got a heck of a lot more content. This is only just starting out in the last, this is basically its first year, so it's got a lot less content, but what's content is there, it's got a lot more detail. If you go for the original one, you're going to find probably whatever you want to drive will exist in the game somewhere. Whereas in this one, it probably won't. You'll have to make do with what there is in the game. I don't know, Woody, I've heard, what I was told was that the sounds weren't up to it. I've not looked myself, but a couple of people were having a moan. Drop it back down to 50. Station's Millbrae. 1851 we're due into San Fran. Well, 3 miles to Millbrae. Not tonight, Woody. This is the last one I'm doing tonight. Been streaming 3 hours so far. Size monitor am I using, Paul? This is a 28-inch 1080p, I think. Is it 28? I can't remember. 24 inch, given the product is an E2470S, I guess. 24 inch, pair of 24 inch monitors. See you later, MTA. We haven't really looked at that stuff at the moment, Willie. Silver Lining had so many limitations on TS1 and had quite a fairly substantial performance impact as well, which fortunately you don't feel too much on TS1, but we spent a lot of time looking at them. I'm not sold on them. This is a thing called Ultra Dynamic Skies for UE4, which something we bought in, but there's there are some other ones, but they end up being super expensive on frame rate. It's just not that important. If you're flying through them, it'd be very important, but it's not important enough to cost you 5 frames per second, for example. Nowhere near enough. Point 8 to Millbrae. Looks like we're clear into Millbrae as well. Good. It's like if they were a lot cheaper to do, then it'd be fine. But they're not, so it's not. Slam door, 43-inch monitor screen with PIP, multiple inputs, acceptable digital sound. That's awesome. I've got a 42, I think, sitting above this one. Well, U4 can do volumetric fog, so we still need to do some work on doing better with that, but it's the challenge there is coping with tunnels and having them not look rubbish. Alright, Millbrae. We're not a million miles from San Fran now. Where's that interloper that's in front of us got to? There he is. Making the big run up to... oh, he's probably going to be out of our way, actually, from now on. Hey, 09, thank you very much. 22nd Street is next. Which is actually the penultimate station, I think. Yeah, it is. So what scores I've been getting. Yeah, this train's been holding me up badly. Return gear. Got clear aspect. What monitor issues are you having, Paul? $44. Aditya, you going to Gamescom this year? Yeah, I'm going to be going to Gamescom. It's next week. I'll be flying out Monday. I'm there Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, flying home Thursday. It cuts off the growth. What resolution are you running, or aspect ratio are you running, Paul? So what I would suggest is send a screenshot of it to the Dovetail support, or just put it onto a post on the forums, and then I can take a look. We did test 21:9, 16:3, 1080p, so I'm hoping that it should be alright, but if you're saying there's a problem, then I need to have another pass at it. Where is Gamescom? Yeah, it's in Cologne in Germany. Good night, Moricom. I'll try and get an answer for you on your account in the next couple of days. Hey, Custom Hitcher. Glad you got it. I was going to say, I thought we'd had a meet-up this year. Alright, got a 70 limit coming up in a couple of miles, but so we'll make hay while the sun shines. No, obviously it's a bit on the expensive side for you, Rob. Got to drop to 70 coming up. I guess we're getting the South San Francisco area here. Police are off to find Moggy. AP is action points, yes. Oh, we're out on the swamplands. Limit's up at 79 now. Keep us good, getting some speed back and some time back. Drop to 50. Hey there, ray gun, how's it going? This is the first of 3 tunnels. Seems smoother, ray gun. There have been some performance improvements, yeah. 1280 by 1024. I've never heard of that resolution. That's a 4. I guess that's a 4x3, isn't it? Actually, 4x3 may not have been fully looked at. I'll get someone to have a look at 4x3. Your SSD will definitely be making a difference. Advanced approach. The Talgo cars. Those things look silly. I'm sorry. Especially with it, so it's like European single-decker high-speed cars pulled by gigantic 3 times the size American loco. Just looks silly. It's kind of cool. I like the way they put the chamfer into the end unit in to build it up, and some sort of faux streamlining, but it does look silly. Nice one, thank you, Paul. .8 miles to 22nd Street. A bit chilly in here now. come into 22nd. Why do you always run spring cloudy? Because it's bright and it adds a light bit of cloud onto the top, Willie. That's about it, really. Left that braking way too late. Which tutorials do you mean, Raygun? Randomize button. Yeah, I do want to actually put a randomize button into service mode. Extensions to current routes. You're about the fourth or fifth person to ask that tonight, Hemi. Essentially, if at the moment it's about creating routes and trains which add to the variety and do different things, rather than keep doing the same thing over and over again. It's like another GWE route. Well, why not do a different UK route, like a modern electric or steam or whatever, rather than doing another one that looks like a route that's already out there, essentially. But at some point, yeah, I'd love to go back and add more, get the branch lines in, get the route, the main line extended. It's aching for an extension, but so are most of the routes, to be honest. San Francisco, 1.2 miles, but we're on reductions now as we come in. Well, that's good to know, Reagan. I'll pass that back on to the gameplay team. They worked hard on them. Yeah, trams would be cool. There's some good options for trams. Historic routes are definitely an extra level more difficult because of the. It depends where you're entirely reliant on what's being captured about a route. So if it's a really, really well-known, popular route, chances are you'll find just about everything you need. But if it's a little bit eclectic, branch line somewhere, and then you kind of almost end up having to make it all up, except for a few screenshots, maybe a few photographs you can dig out. It gets a lot harder at that point. London Underground, yeah, I'd love to do London Underground route at some point. But they're a different kind of route to what most people are used to, so again, it's kind of one of those ones that I want to get to, but I think it comes in a bit later on after we've dealt with some of the more common requests, like modern. Is there keyboard and mouse support for Xbox? I think keyboard might work, I don't know. I know on the PlayStation I use one of these things as a keyboard, but mouse doesn't work. There's no specific support for them. Come round to San Fran. So got restricting access. Oh, I thought they'd added keyboard and mouse up support. Was it just keyboard support they added, Inspector Tiger? Bam Bam, how's my day today? Really good, actually. Just really pleased that the route has been so positively received. Hey, Cookie, how's it going? Not bad. Well, the game probably needs to add support for it as well. No, that isn't there, right, enabled on an Xbox, if I remember rightly. I don't even know if the version of Unreal we're using supports it. I know on a developer Xbox we can plug your keyboard and mouse in and use it like a PC, but I don't think that works quite the same way on the retail Xbox. Oh, it is coming soon. Okay, yeah, I thought I'd heard something about it. Yeah, it is very fiddly on the controller. That is something I want to get fixed. Because no need for it. It just needs to use a kinetic system, and it'll be a lot nicer. Yeah, this is it for tonight. Oi, stop bumping my camera along, you so-and-so. That's rude. I thought I heard something going. Oh, there we go. God, that train held us up so much. Still, another 12,500 points added. How to take high-res screenshot, Control F12, and make sure it's enabled to high detail setting, the high-res screenshot in the settings. The real plan's to upgrade the map MTA, yeah, but we haven't got there yet. But yeah, far fewer stops when you do a 300 series with Baby